So today we're off to see if we can catch a trout. I'm not being specific about the number, more than one would be nice, but one's fine. But to give ourselves a bit of a challenge, we're not just going to be using every fly in the fly box, we're going to be using buzzers. So we're going to be using, I'm thinking, a floating line with a floating leader. I may have a dropper on, I don't know. I don't really get on well with droppers. I seem to get them tangled up in everything, and I very rarely catch a fish on a dropper. So I've got a selection of buzzers, but the one I'm really going to stake my claim on is a black buzzer. I think, universally they are. I've got some tiny ones that are like yellow. I've got a whole selection that look like the colours of different types of jelly beans. Never caught anything on them, but they look nice. They caught me. So we're going after a black buzzer for trout, and it's a nice day. It's Maybank holiday. The outside temperature's 9 degrees. It'll be warmer than that later on. I think we're in with a chance of a trout. And if we don't, it'll be because it's too hot, too cold, too windy, not windy enough. I have all the excuses. But let's see what a black buzzer produces. So we're off on our little adventure. I've just had a look in the catch log, and nobody's caught anything for a few days. So I'm mildly concerned about the no catching of fish in the last few days. But hey, I've caught fish here before when no one's caught fish. But equally, I've not caught fish when everyone is catching fish. So, I wouldn't make a hard and fast rule about that. So, again, it's a lovely morning. It is gorgeous. I can't see any fish moving, but hey, I've only been here 10 seconds. So let's get the boat set up and get out there, and we can talk about tackle. So when you put an electric outboard into reverse and it starts going forward, that's a pretty surefire way of finding out that you've actually put the positive and negative the wrong way around on the battery. Right, we're here. I've got my sunglasses on. It's really sunny from that direction, so I've got two things to look out for. One is the fishing, and two is making sure that the camera doesn't have the sun directly on it. So the plan this morning is I've got a matching pair of Gray's 9'6" rods. One's an 8-weight and one's a 6-weight. Although to be technically accurate, the 6-weight is 9'6". So what I'm planning on doing is setting up one with a sink tip and one with a floating line, and then I can vary my approach depending on whether I'm fishing the fabby thing with a sink tip or whether I'm fishing purely on the surface. There's a few fish playing around, but they're not massively topping and tailing. I'm trying to put out of my mind what I saw in the catch log, which is nothing, 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 nothing. Right, so what should we do? 6 weight, I think 6 weight is probably going to be the floating line. So heart in mouth moment when you check that you've got all 4 pieces. There's 3 there. So I'm hoping the last one is the tip section. And that, there you are, a little blighter hiding there. So we're going to match that with a suitable reel. This is my new tackle bag, and I still, even though I've used it a couple of times, I still go to the pocket where the reels are and they're not there, and I have a little heart attack. So here's my Gray's sink tip. That's my Gray's DTS 600. Doesn't mean a lot to me, to be honest. And then here's, right, that's the right, that's the 6. Now this outboard is still on. That could explain why it was sort of going duk duk duk. Ooh, trout just rose there. Right, I need to crack on. Well, I don't know who used this reel last, but the way they put that line on is atrocious. Oh, hang on, that was me, wasn't it? So, I haven't even got a fly in the water yet, and I've already taken off 2 layers of clothes. It's so flipping hot. So, I'm going with the there's still fry around plan, which means that I've put this on, which probably more of a reservoir fly, but I'm just thinking that may look a bit like a fry. So let's see what's. Oh, whoever did this winding in last time needs to be given a good slap on the wrist. So it's that nice time of day when the wind hasn't got up, so you can pretty much cast in any direction. Whether I'll be saying that in an hour or two's time, I don't know, but I'm saying it at the moment. So I'm thinking possibly quite a fast retrieve with something that's supposed to be a fry, because they don't hang around, do they? They're motoring. Right, I just got to get the measure of this 6 weight floating line. Well, I was just enjoying casting all round the boat with gay abandon, and the wind. There's a little bit of a breeze and there's a ripple on the water, so the wind is coming that way, or going that way. And having removed 2 layers of clothing, every time the sun goes behind a cloud, you think, oh, it's getting cold. The update is that that fly, I cast all around the boat with it, no good. So I've put on a, my plan is rapidly going to pot. I've put on a fly that caught my eye, which was one with 2 grey wings, as it were, because there are a few moving on the surface and I don't think they're after fry. So I'm thinking they might be after emergers. I don't know whether this is an emerger or not, but I'm fishing it near the surface. So if it's near the surface, in my book at least, it's an emerger. Right, so another fine plan bites the dust. So that's what I was using, and it was actually floating on the surface, probably because of these wings that are probably made from, I don't know, duck duck feathers, so I put some gunk on it so it just sat on the surface, but no go. There's one or two fish moving. It's got a bit ripply, a bit cloudy, so I'm thinking of going with a fab on the end and putting a dropper about there. So I'll get some 6-pound line and make a little dropper for it. See if we can't just suspend it and catch a passing trout. So even as I'm changing my tactics, I'm changing the plan. So I can't bring myself to put one of those fluorescent yellow fab things on the line. So I found deep within the recesses of my tackle box something that I think will do the trick, which is it's a buzzer with a bit of polystyrene on the ooh, one just rose over there. So that's my plan. This is going to be the suspended bit. Right, let's go. Oh, I don't believe it. I just had a fantastic take then. Oh, that was on the suspended buzzer. That little white bit of foam with a buzzer underneath and then another buzzer behind it. Well, that worked well. We'll try that one again. I was just thinking to myself, buzzer fishing isn't exactly the same as lure fishing for bass in the surf. It's very quiet, but when you get a take like that, so that was interesting. So I don't know whether it took the one at the end or the one underneath. I suspect it took the one underneath because it didn't really show on the surface. The line just sizzled and I managed to miss it. So we're playing a bit of a waiting game. There's fish rising every now and again. There's a bit of a ripple on the water. So I'm just casting out and then really, really slowly bringing it in. And I'm hoping that in a second the line will go whiz. But I'm in a crisis of confidence now because in the past I've just gently tightened into them and I've lost a couple. So I'm wondering about a nice firm upward strike. I guess I'm just going to have to wait till it happens and then my muscle memory will kick in. It's looking promising. This might seem like an odd thing to do on a lake full of trout, but I've decided to move. Not much. In which case, why am I moving at all? It just feels like I should. So trout has risen quite a long way away. I've cast to it and some funny little things are happening to my the point fly keeps disappearing. I suspect that there are rudd in the lake and they think it's a little bit of bread. Now I can't see where it's supposed to be. It's annoying. I suppose if things got really desperate I could pare down the little bit of foam and see if I can catch some rudd. I don't want to catch right, I want to catch trout. I will not be distracted. I'm just wondering whether I need to change that black buzzer to a different coloured buzzer, or maybe even an app known to me as a bloodworm. Might as well, got to be in it to win it. I give you, my friend, the bloodworm app. Let's see what happens. Got everything to pray for. Well, it's proving to be another slow day at the office. So I'm heading to a completely different part of the lake in the hope that my fortunes will change. So I'm not quite sure what I mean by that, because I guess the trout are all eating the same thing, but I haven't fished up this top end of the lake for a while. Because I'm basically lazy, and if I can catch fish close to where I launched the boat, why wouldn't you? I seem to have upset the wildlife. I come in peace, I come to fish. Honest? Unfortunately, I had some technical issues with my sound, so this is the first of 4 trout I caught. The second one I caught, I thought I was recording, I wasn't. I must have pressed the wrong button or something. So this was on a black buzzer. It was on the dropper. I had a similar sort of buzzer on the point fly, but they just weren't interested in that. For some reason it was the fact that it was suspended, I think, rather than yeah, so that's all I can think. But it put up a heck of a scrap. As you can see, it taking line through my fingers there, and my wrist was aching by the time I got it in the net. But here it comes now, splash, 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 and eventually I managed to lift it out. I'm using 6-pound leader. There he is. Happy days. Wow. Splashy, splashy, splashy. Same 2 black buzzers. Just under the surface. I just greased the line so it is presenting quite high, and this is the result. Fish-tastic. Well, let's be cautious. Many a slip twixt fly and net. Ooh, it's a feisty little thing. When I say little, I'm being a bit condescending. It's actually quite a nice fish. Come on. Come on. Come on, Mr. Fish. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. In the net. And away. Oh, that's a big boy, isn't it? He's a big boy. There's a big boy. That's 3 on black buzzers, and There's still fish showing. Right, I need to make sure that I do what I keep forgetting to do, which is every time I catch a fish, I need to make sure I've re-greased the leader so that it floats, because they seem to be taking just under the surface. And again, that was on the dropper, and I never catch fish on droppers. I'm beginning to wonder if the reason for that is that I very rarely use a dropper. That may have something to do with it. But it's not, they're not interested in that one. They're interested in that one. So maybe what I need to do is to put a smaller one on the point. How about that? I'll put a really tiny one on the point. I hope it's not going to unbalance the casting. Well, if it does, I'll have to change them around. Wow, this is proving to be a nice day. Whoa! Just another savage take. Literally as well, not literally as the fly, I'd done about 2 small retrieves. Bang. Oh, it's motoring. You can never quite tell where a fish is. You see where the line goes into the water and you assume it's there, and then a fish will jump and you think, is that the same fish? And it often is. Oh, missed him, you silly boy. And there's that other fly that could get caught in the net, and then you're in all kinds of trouble. Be patient. Is he ready? Is he ready? Oh, crumbs it so. There he is. Oh, that was. Come on, fella. Say hello. Say hello to the camera. And the flies come out. But it was definitely on the dropper. Well, there's a pretty steady cold wind blowing now. It's got quite cloudy, and it's getting a little bit of a chop on the water. I've had a good morning's buzzer fishing. It's all gone quiet, and it's 12 o'clock. I'm beginning to feel a bit pecky, so I'm going to call it a day and head for home.